Hello, I'm Thom Ruhe, and I have the good fortune to work at the NC IDEA Foundation. I want to thank Dr. Damaris and Dr. Edmonds for the invitation to speak on this auspicious occasion, specifically to offer this commencement address for your graduation. For those of you who aren't accustomed to making public speeches, I want to basically disclose that this is no small ask. It's a high pressure situation because you realize how many family, friends, and faculty are watching, and you really want to make a good impression. So hopefully I'm going to say something that might be worthy of your time and attention today. And if I don't, well, then you can find Dr. Edmonds and blame him. But all kidding aside, before I get into my comments, I thought maybe I'd just give a very quick background on myself so you have some context for the few things that I might share that I hope will be of some interest to you. NC IDEA is an independent private foundation committed to helping people realize their full entrepreneurial potential. You might say that we're similar to the college in the sense that we are helping people realize their full goals in life. Ours just happens to be through the context of economic empowerment through entrepreneurship. So it really was not much of an ask. Again, all kidding aside, to give this address because I've always had a very special place in my heart for community colleges. I think they are really the unsung heroes of our society and our economy. And if you ever needed evidence of this fact, just look at what they do in the fields of workforce development, for example. As a matter of fact, if you email Dr. Damaris, you will see that her signature block says, VGCC is all in higher education. And higher is spelled H-I-R-E, not higher elevated education, but work education, practical education, education that you'll be able to deploy and use in the field in the future. And so it is a good timing and coincidental, of course, that the World Economic Forum recently came out with a study that they've been working on for many, many years. And for those of you who don't know, the World Economic Forum is a global think tank that does research and policy recommendations on some of the top issues facing the world. I had the good fortune in a prior life to serve on the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council for Entrepreneurship. And they just published what they are seeing as the top skills by 2025 that people are going to need. And as I list a few of them, I hope it becomes obvious why they resonate with me, especially in the context of what we do. And I certainly hope they'll resonate with you, especially on this day where we recognize your accomplishment at the college. Topping their list for 2025, people are going to need to be able to be capable of analytical thinking and innovation and critical thinking. In other words, think outside the box, right? Understand deeper why things are the way they are. Critical thinking is one of these areas that we see, unfortunately, in very short supply and in desperate need during the times like the ones we're having now. It's going to be analytical thinking that helped understand what society needed to bring a cure for COVID, for example, and it's certainly going to be innovation that drove that. Another thing that they're citing for 2025 is going to be the process of active learning or commitment to continued learning. We all are lifelong students, hopefully. And in order to stay dynamic, to be able to have economic opportunities in the future, we're going to have to be able to unlearn certain things and relearn new skills to be relevant in an evolving workforce. The next thing on the list was complex problem solving. There was a time not that long ago, I'm in my mid-50s, where we prepared students to do one function, one very specialized function, so that you could take your place in a line and do that one thing 1,000 times a day. Those days are long gone. Companies need employees that are capable of complex problem solving, being able to look at something that was different than the day before and say, what do we have to do to solve it today? Next up is creativity, originality, and initiative. right? Don't wait to be told to do something. You see something that needs to be done, you do it. I hope as I'm ticking off these lists, you understand corollary I'm going to close on, and I might be giving away to close, that this really ties into the entrepreneurial mindset. Next up, they're looking for leaders with social influence. This really speaks to the ability to communicate, to articulate your ideas, to share with others, to listen to others. There's an old expression, I'm sorry, I can't remember who to attribute it to, but the sentiment is very relevant here, and that is to, before you can seek to be understood, you must first try to understand. So have that ability to be able to listen to others and then offer your influence and your take on something. The next point is one that we all know only too well, and it's certainly been tested in 2020, and that is resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility. We've all had to accommodate for the unknown. What's tomorrow going to hold? When will we go back to some new normal or now normal? Resilience is something that hopefully near and dear to your heart at this very moment as you complete this stage of your formal education. Chances are many among you have spent years getting to this point. And so you know what that's like, to work hard for something, to defer gratification until the time is right. And you've got that tolerance and you've got that flexibility to roll with things as you need to. And finally, it's what they're kind of wrapping it all in is reasoning, problem solving, and ideation. I think these are all pretty much summary of the others. But please notice on this list, there wasn't anything specific to a given skill. Like we need welders for 2025 or a CNC capability. These are all things that are going to be important for sure. But in the larger context of controlling your future and giving yourself options that will carry you forward and bring security for yourself and your extended family, these are the skills, the top skills that the future will require of people in order to flourish. These also are the skills that we coincidentally package in this thing again that I alluded to earlier, that we call the entrepreneurial mindset. This is what entrepreneurs do. They see the world in a way that others can't. They understand the underlying beliefs and assumptions that drive the behavior of successful individuals, and they apply that in their own life. This would be my wish for you going forward, that you take this education, you take this day of celebration as your jumping off point, empowered by your entrepreneurial mindset, to have an internal locus of control and to say, I will be a factor in my future and not simply a bystander in it. So let me wrap things up by saying a sincere congratulations to you. You've accomplished something great, frankly, something to be very proud of. But I also want you to take the time to thank the family members, the friends, the faculty that helped you get to this day, that helped you achieve this great milestone. Your accomplishment today is an expression of appreciation for their support, but your future success honors their sacrifice and yours. And if you apply that in the way that you were taught here at Vance-Granville Community College, I'm very confident you're going to help us write the next great chapter of the economic history of North Carolina. Congratulations and best of luck to you all.